Hey guys, Lust here, and I'm back again to go ahead and go over the second match that is recorded from my locals next level of our champion showdown. This is gonna be a Leondias Sword versus Control Haven match, and what's gonna happen in this game is that Merp, my opponent, wins the dice roll and then makes himself go first, which is one of the more surprising things I think about this matchup. What I originally thought in this matchup is whoever goes second is favored, but I think if we go a little bit deeper into this matchup, the one of the only ways that Haven can win this matchup is by developing a in statute Seraph on exactly turn 6, and in order to do that without getting punished as much, such as like if I play a turn 5 play and then he plays Seraph, I play a turn 6 play, he can go ahead and just Themis, but if he goes second, I get to play my turn 6 play, and then he Seraphs, and then I play my turn 7 play, and then he Themises. Like, it's one entire turn later, and that might mean like the board just becomes too much, because I might just like stick some last word followers that makes Themis very awkward or whatever. So I think going first does help him there, and Haven does have a lot of non-evolved stuff that they do wish to play earlier, such as they might be running cards like Dark Angel Olivia or obviously, like I said, Aegis and Seraph. Like, those cards don't really benefit that much from evolution or have an alternate evolution method that doesn't require them to pay play points. So Haven is definitely better than Sword in that case where they can go first, while Sword almost always wishes to go second in this format due to the sheer fact that most of their power plays are just so strong on Evo turns. Okay, so we see that right off the bat, Merp has opened the best opener in the entire deck, which is the Sacred Pleon 1. This means that his turn 1 and most likely turn 2 are both set. While, I'll just reveal it right now, I made a very greedy keep. I kept a hand of Bellringer, Floral Fencer, plus, Bellringer, Floral Fencer, plus a turn 4 play, and I do not have a 2-drop in my hand, nor a second 1-drop to play on 2, so I will have to gamble to see if I have a decent turn 2 play. So, obviously, I'm going to go ahead and play the Bellringer right off the bat. This doesn't do that much versus Haven, because we're already guaranteed to know that he's just drawing 2, and he might have banishes for this Bellringer, so I'm not enthused here. And you can see that I just passed turn 2, because it just didn't draw anything from my 2 draws. I had a second Bellringer to draw, I had Swordsman to draw, I had Quickblitter to draw, I have Luminous Knight, Latham, and the one of Saria. I had so many things that I could draw here that I could just put direct pressure on him, but I missed every single one, which is unfortunate to say the least. While my opponent top decks the Prism Priestess to go ahead and search for an amulet, meaning that he has basically the most perfect curve possible while going first, while I break my turn 2. So right off the bat, we're already unfavored here to win. But we see that after thinking for a while, he chooses to search up a very interesting amulet that most Seraph Haven players don't run anymore. Let's go ahead and see what he searches. Yep, he searches for Themis Decree. Just kidding. He searched wrong. He's gonna go ahead and correct the mistake and go ahead and search Holy Sentinel. This is a card that was massively popular in Haven during set 1 as their main win condition, but now that Seraph has been in the game, I've seen this card less and less. Merp has decided to play this card again, maybe to put up a little bit more pressure against other decks, so they can't just ignore the Haven player. Okay, you can see I immediately slammed down this Floral Fencer. A snooze gameplay, by the way. Yep. The reason why I awarded this Bellringer Angel here is because I wanted to get the value off of the Bellringer Angel as quickly as possible. Because this is the Haven matchup, the longer I wait, the more likely he is to have a banish in hand for the Bellringer Angel, and I really needed a draw. My hand isn't exactly the greatest. Like, he has already represented the God Curve, and I only hit my turn 1 and turn 3. So, I'm more likely to have to just slam the Bellringer into the Prison Priestess myself if he doesn't want to try to play into it. Because I really need the card draw. And, like, getting board locked on a 0 attack follower against Haven is never what you want to see. Sword has a really big problem of getting board locked on low attack followers, such that the Haven player can just heal through it and just cheat out Aegis for free, basically. My opponent here decides to play Jun after a little bit of thought, to go ahead and clear 3 followers off my board, and put the Floral in range of the Jun Evo. But I have the perfect answer to take care of the Jun before it can Evo, which is one of the big swing points of the turn. The Jun on 4 play is a very aggressive play and a very good play against Sword by Haven going first, and is only punishable by a couple of cards. The first card, obviously, is Swordsman. Swordsman can go ahead and tap the Jun. Let's say I have a second Floral Fencer, or I have like anything else that I can play on 3, I can go ahead and use the Swordsman to tap down the Jun, run my Floral Fencer into it, or evolve a second Floral Fencer into it, and kill it, establish my board, and he is down a Jun, and it is unlikely to have a second one to answer my plays, while my first Floral Fencer can go ahead and hit him for 4, and put me in a very good position in general. But I didn't open the Swordsman, but I did open the second best answer, which is Erd. Erd can just get rid of the thing and put him in a weird spot. I think he was banking on the Jun living there, so he can go ahead and clear my board alongside a small removal spell, but it didn't, so he had to play the second Prison Priestess. But obviously, I think he had to play the second Prison Priestess regardless, because he wanted to search in Statue Seraph, because it was getting to turn 6, and he didn't really have anything else. And he even played the removal early, because the card was threatening enough, and he didn't want me to buff it or so, whatever, I'm pretty sure. But, approaching his turn 6 play, I have to just slam the biggest thing I have in my hand, because otherwise he just gets to play a free Seraph, right? So I wanted to make him hesitate, like maybe, do I drop the Seraph this turn? Do I not drop the Seraph this turn? And ultimately, after going through a pretty long think, Merp is going to decide to drop the Seraph. So now we're on a timer. We have to kill him before turn 10, before the Seraph pops, where he gets 10 life and Aegis, and from that point we never... Well, I don't say we never win, but it's very hard to win from that point onwards, so we're going to have to race him. But the good thing is, when he plays the Seraph, our Aurelia gets to hit face for free, and he is at 16, so we're going to put him at 12. So it's a lot easier because to kill him, because 12 is the amount of damage that Albert can do under Leondias' Resolve, which is what we really want to put our opponents at, so they can respect Leondias at least a little bit. Because if they're above 12, they don't really have to respect Leondias, because we can't kill them in one turn, you know? Yep, Merp thought about this for a long time. He's tanking, and then... because he's like, do I really want to take this damage to the face? And then he slams the Seraph. And then we do a very interesting play here. We actually go ahead and play the Leondias out and evolve it, because we want to establish a Last Words effect that's prominent on board, so he can't just Themis decree my board, or else he just gets to play the Themis, you know? He just takes 4, gets to play the Themis and then only take 4 damage. If I play the Leondias now, and now he decides to Themis, I might just have the Albert and kill him outright, you know? So yeah. this basically means that the only way he can clear this is by playing something like Acolyte's Light to clear the Leonidas first, but with only 7 play points, if he plays the Acolyte's Light, there is no possible way he can clear the Aurelia. So that means the Aurelia can get another hit into him, which means that, like, I'm even more guaranteed to win the game at this point. And obviously, he doesn't seem to have the out to the Leonidas, or else he would have played it already, without risking me having the ability to tap whatever he plays and just send the Leonidas in for free. After taking a bit, he decides to play the second Jun and evolve her, taking care of the Aurelia by running the Jun in and not giving me a follower to hit the Leonidas into if I have a swordsman, and putting the Leonidas at 3, which is the amount of health it takes for a Blackened Scripture or Priest of the Cudgel to go ahead and banish the Leonidas. So I'm thinking something is up. I'm thinking he has either a Blackened Scripture or a Cudgel in his hand, and he's going to go ahead and banish Leonidas next turn. But I don't really care anymore, because one, the Leonidas lived 1 turn, and he's tapped out, so I'm putting him at 6, which is enough for Albert to win the game. And I used Alexander to go ahead and clear the ward, and now I established a huge 5/9 unengaged follower that can attack face next turn through a ward, most likely, which puts him under huge pressure, because the only thing that can clear this board is Acolyte's Light plus Execution, or double Acolyte's Light, and he has shown clearly that he doesn't have an Acolyte's Light last turn, or else he would have played it on the Leonidas, and he can at most draw 1 hard removal, and that's not enough to clear both things. And obviously, as we said, Themis Decree is off the table because he has to get rid of the Leonidas first. Well, technically, this opens up him to do Blackened Scripture plus Themis Decree, but even then it doesn't feel very good, because he's already at 6, and 6 is like Albert range without the Leonidas Amulet, so yeah. After him, so obviously he has the Priest of the Cudgel. He kind of set that up last turn. So he's going to pay 4 to go ahead and get rid of the Leonidas. And then he's going to tank for a while to see what exactly he's going to do. He's going to go ahead and keep up some mana, run into my Bellringer Angel, and then play Guardian Sun to give his Priest of the Cudgel ward. But as I said, if he can't get rid of the Alexander, giving the Priest of the Cudgel ward doesn't do anything, because Alexander can simply run into the Leonidas, unengage himself, and attack face. Because Alexander is just like that. I'm going to go ahead and just do just that. Put him at 1. And I'm going to try to threaten this lethal with the Quick Blader. Obviously, he has mana uncapped, so he has something else. But we have the Novice Trooper. We're going to go ahead and lethal him right there. And that is going to be game. Yup. We're going to show our hand here. Our hand was a Swordsman, a Bellringer Angel, a Saria, and a Unbridled Fury. So we had exact lethal on him. We didn't have any leftover Storm followers. And, that's good enough. Sometimes. That's just good enough. But yeah. This is basically what I said about, the Haven can draw really well, and the Sword player can still beat through it. Honestly, the Haven player basically played the best possible curve every single turn. They played Pleon 1, they cracked the Pleon 2 because it didn't give them enough offensive pressure because I skipped turn 2. Since I skipped turn 2, they can play Prism on 3, which is their best possible turn 3 play that's not a removal, and they had the Jun on 4 to punish my Floral on 3, albeit the Jun got removed. He played a second Searcher, and we already showed that he had the second Jun in his hand, so he could have just played the second Jun on 5. But he basically had the play to play best curve up, curving into his Seraph on 6, and we did not have the best answer to the Seraph on 6. The best answer to the Seraph on 6 is Avant Blader on turn 5, searching up 2 Novice Troopers to threaten 11 damage on the Crackback, and then if he chooses to Themis the 11 damage, which is 2 Novice Troopers on the Avant, we can go ahead and play Albert and threaten 17 damage. So if he's under 17 by the time he plays and Statue Seraph, he is almost guaranteed to die, as Swordcraft players are playing multiple Alberts in their list now, and I play 2 Alberts, so the chances that I hard draw an Albert with the amount of searching that Swordcraft has is pretty high. So Avant Blader plus Albert represents 17 damage through in Statue Seraph. That's one of the main points I've always said in thinking that this matchup was either even or sword favored. But a lot of players are saying that this matchup is Havencraft favored, and I just can't understand why. Because number one, this sword deck has way more cycle and way more gas and way more searchers than the current Havencraft deck. The only since the Havencraft decks don't run Cruel Priestess anymore, the only method of card draw they have is their 3 of Sacred Plea, their 3 of Prism Priestess, and the occasional draw ones from like Dark Angel Olivia or Tribunal if they choose to run those cards. Like that's just very little draw compared to what Sword has. Sword has like Maid Leader, Sword has Avant Blader, Maid Saria, we have Gem Staff, we have so much searching, we have searchers that can search searchers, we can just never run out of gas. Like this variation of Sword like keeps like 6 to 7 cards in their hand until like turn 8, which is like so amazing, and it makes this matchup so good because Haven eventually just runs out of answers. They have to play the Seraph on 6, and once they play the Seraph on 6, they're basically on a clock to lose this game if you drew like semi well. Yeah. If you guys like have any questions about this matchup or like have any questions about the Swordcraft matchup in general, make sure to leave it down in the comments. I'll go ahead and go through them. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the last game where I play against Fairy Forest. Yep. Have a good day.